Hello guys, happy Wednesday. This is kind of crazy. I was super excited to see you guys tonight, and after being gone for a week and a half in Missouri, I got back Sunday night, and the first thing on my mind was getting to see y'all on Wednesday. And now here we are. I am talking to you through a camera that will later be uploaded as a video because of the coronavirus. So I am in the bedroom of my apartment, and I am still going to be reading out of this book for our Wednesday lesson, the Leading Little Ones to God. We started on, last time I saw you guys, which was like 2 weeks ago, we started on the series, God is Very Great. And the first lesson we read about is how God is one God and how we should not have any other idols or idolize things as gods, because there's only one God, and He is the one that made us, He's the one that loves us, and He is the one that is always there for us through everything. So this week we're talking about how God knows all things. So, boys and girls go to school as soon as they are old enough. They go to school to learn. There is so much to learn, but God never goes to school, because God does not have to learn, because God knows all things. God knows things that we cannot know. He knows how many stars there are up in the sky. We talked about this just a few weeks ago when we were talking about how God made all of the stars in the universe. And I was asking if any of you could fly up and see the stars and count them if you would. And almost every single one of you raised your hand, and we were trying to guess how many stars there are. And I guarantee every single one of our answers were wrong, because the only one who knows how many stars there are is God, and God alone. So, let me get back to my spot. Okay, He calls the stars by their names. God knows things that we cannot see. He knows how the big trees push their roots into the ground and how they send water up through the stems to each little leaf. God knows all that happens in the dark. Nobody can hide from Him, not even in the darkest night. So think back to Adam and Eve. We've talked about Adam and Eve before. You've probably heard this Bible story your whole life about how Adam and Eve took the fruit from the tree, and then when they heard God's voice, they ran and they were trying to hide from God because they knew that they did wrong. But God ultimately found them because God knew where they were. God knew that they were going to sin, and He knew that they were going to try to hide from Him. So there's really no way to hide from God. Like this says, not even in the darkest night can you hide from God. God knows all that is in our hearts too. He knows what we think. He knows every secret. God knows all things. The Bible tells us about a great king, Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar had a strange dream one night. When he awoke, he could not remember his dream. That made him unhappy. The king sent for his wise men. He said to them, "Tell me my dream." But they could not tell the king his dream. How could they know the king's dream? Then the king was angry. Daniel was one of the king's wise men. Daniel said, "I will ask God to tell me the king's dream." Daniel said, "God knows all secret things. He knows even what is in the darkness. He knows even our dreams." Daniel prayed to God, and God told Daniel the king's dream. God knew it all the time, and then Daniel told it to the king. God even knows everything that is going to happen. We make plans and we say, tomorrow I will go out and play, or tomorrow I will go to school, but we are not sure of what we shall do tomorrow. Only God knows for sure what will happen tomorrow and the next day and next year. God is very great, and He knows all things. So, talking about how we make plans and we know for sure this is going to happen tomorrow, the only thing that we can actually be certain about is that the sun is going to rise tomorrow. And we can't even be 100% certain about that, because God is all powerful, and if He decides, you know what, that sun isn't rising today, then the sun's not going to rise. The only one who can be 100% certain on all things that are going to happen is God. So even though you may think, oh, today's a Tuesday, tomorrow I'm getting up and I'm going to school. Oh, today's a Wednesday. Sorry, I'm filming this on a Tuesday. But you wake up and you're like, okay, this is Wednesday. So tomorrow I am going to go to school. and it's going to be Thursday, and then the next day is Friday, and it'll be the last day of school for the week, and then Saturday will come and I'll get to play with friends. You have no idea what's actually gonna happen. What if you woke up the next day and you had strep throat? You can't go to school, and you probably can't go to school Friday. And then that weekend, you're just recovering. You can't be around friends because you might not have had antibiotics in you long enough. So I'm getting into like a totally different thing now. But the point is, you actually have no idea what is going to happen the next day. Only God knows. And this is why we are called to trust God and not live in fear, not live in anxiety or be anxious for anything, because God knows all things that will happen. So we can try to make our own plans. I envision that sometimes God is flying a plane and I'm in the passenger seat. And sometimes I'm like, oh, actually, let me just steer that this way. And I don't even know if you can steer planes. I actually don't know how you fly a plane, but let's just say you steer them. You probably do. You probably have to steer everything you drive. But anyways, and I'm just like, oh, 1 second, let me just reach on over there and steer it this way. And God's kind of like, all right, do whatever you want. I mean, I gave you free will, so go ahead. So I'm over here, he's sitting back, and I'm just trying to steer this. He's always next to me. He's never gonna leave me because he knows that I'm gonna take myself the wrong way whenever I disobey him and I don't let him lead me. So I'm steering myself this way, that way, any way that I think looks good. And finally I have to sit back and say, God, I was wrong. I didn't trust you and I'm sorry. Can you please take the wheel back because I am steering myself into the ground? And God gladly takes the wheel back, reminds me that he loves me and he forgives me and that he is always there for me. So that is very important when it comes to trusting God, because once again, God knows all things. Everything that he does is going to work together for our good. Even if we can't see it, he knows what he's doing, and he's ultimately doing the best possible thing for us, for our brother, our sister, our mom, our dad, everyone in our life. He is always doing the best possible thing for them, and it's working together for good and to glorify him, which is the ultimate goal of all of this. So that is our lesson for today. We do have our typical questions that I ask you guys, but obviously y'all can't respond to that right now, but I'll go ahead and go over them just in case you want to know. So why do boys and girls go to school? That one's easy. They go to school to learn things. And does God have to learn things? I'm like kind of sitting here waiting for you to answer. Yeah, go ahead and answer. If you want to answer, go ahead. I'll give you like 2 seconds. Yes, exactly. God does not have to learn things because he knows all things. Good job. I know you got that right because you were listening. You got it right. How much does God know about you and me? Is that an answer? Is it? Yes, he knows everything about you and me. Anything we even try to hide and we're like, oh, nobody can find this out. Guess what? God knows. So, sorry. But anyways, okay, so that is the end of this lesson. We do have a memory verse. It says a part of the Bible is called the Book of Psalms. The Psalms were written long ago. Psalm 139 tells us that God knows every little thing about you and me. The man who wrote Psalm 39 said to God, "You know my downsitting and my uprising." Okay, and then it has a psalm that we can sing. I'm not going to sing it because typically I will sing this in a group with you guys because you don't want to hear me singing by myself. But I will tell you the words, and if you want to just sing it in your free time, or you want to look up because I'm not sure of the tune of it, it is, "O Lord, my inmost heart and thought, thy searching eye do see. Where I rest, where I go, my ways are known to thee." All right, so that is the end of that lesson. So we can go ahead and pray together. So remember, your eyes are shut, you bow your head, and you don't let anything distract you from focusing on God in this time. Lord, it is wonderful to think that you know all things. You see my heart when I am bad. You see me when I try to be good. Help me, dear Father, to be good for Jesus' sake, because he loves me so. Amen. All right, so thanks for tuning in to this lesson. I will see you guys again on Sunday, and I am going to be reaching out to your parents soon to try to get FaceTime set up. I'm sure the parents are probably watching this with you, so hello. I will be reaching out to you guys soon to try to get FaceTime set up, or if you don't have an iPhone, we can do like face chat on Facebook. I just want a way where I can still be in contact with the students and encourage them and just keep that relationship with them going no matter how long we have to stay virtual in our contact. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on Sunday. Have a good week.